Good evening, everyone. My name is Melanie Lewis, and I'm the chair of Community Board 9. We usually give everybody time to join us about 7:05. So thank you so much for those of you that have already joined on with us. So we just give a little bit of grace. At this time, if you are on and you would like to share uh, an educational quote, you're always welcome to do so while we wait. This is the time when we usually share some quotes. So I will just pause as we still give grace to those that are coming on as well. So welcome. Greetings to those of you just joining us. We are waiting until about 7:03. We just give time for those that are coming in to be able to do so. Welcome to the Education and Library Committee meeting for this May 2022. While you're waiting, if you'd like to share an educational quote, you are indeed welcome to do so.
Hi, everybody. This is Soul, and my education quote is lead by example. Hello?
And thank you so much,
Okay.
Soul.
Okay.
Is the author anonymous on that, or
You
do
know,
you
I
know who
don't
the
even know who the author is. I really don't. I never thought about it. Yeah, I'm waiting for this WebEx the video to download, so I'm just going to be on the phone until then. I'm on my phone.
No problem. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I have one. It's by Nelson Mandela. Education is the most powerful weapon in which you can change the world.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ms. Payne. We appreciate you. And we love us some Nelson Mandela. Excellent. All right, the time is now 7:05. I want us to make sure that we have our agenda open as well as our minutes. We always like to make sure that everybody's on the same page concerning our minutes and also in reference to our agenda for this evening. So if you were not able to get those two things up in those 5 minutes, hopefully you'll be able to get them up soon. So you'll be all set as well. So I just took a bit of a pause. The time is now 7:06.
I have a
Or
question.
okay,
On the 2, it has Baptiste Fred. It has a bunch of people's names on top. Is that our committee?
that apparently is the committee that those are the folks that decided that they wanted to be on the committee, and we can definitely, I don't know, we can speak to that at
Well,
at,
the only reason
at
I'm
some point.
asking because now
Mhm.
I am a committee member, correct?
Yes.
My name is not up there.
Okay, so that's something that we can bring to the attention of the board. We can also check your name in the official role as well, to confirm the status there too. But certainly you were there from day one. It may have just been an oversight, and that's something that we'll be able to correct. So thank you for pointing that out. So I'd like to bring our meeting I would like for us to start the meeting. Definitely, once again, welcome those of you on YouTube that are joining us for our Education and Library Committee meeting. Today is indeed Wednesday, May 4th. 2022, and we welcome you to the Education and Library Committee meeting. We meet every first Thursday. That's the date that we have been meeting on this particular year. And we thank you so much for joining us on today. Right now, we're going to have the reading of the minutes. We won't be doing an approval as we do not have quorum. Quorum is when we have, a percentage of our committee members present. And right now we have 3 members right now. So I'm going to ask, Miss Soul or Pamela, if one of you are comfortable reading the minutes, if you wouldn't mind doing so, just so you don't have to hear my voice the whole meeting. We read the minutes in our committee just to make sure that everybody's on the same page. They are sent out prior to the meeting, so everybody can have an opportunity to look it over. Yet, we give that grace of reading it to make sure everybody's on the same page before we move on with the meeting.
Pam, would you be able to read it?
April 7th, 2022.
Yes.
You want me to do the attendees or just go down to the comments?
You can go to the start, the number 1.
Okay. Committee Chair Melanie Lewis called the meeting to order at 7:04 p.m. Review the January 2022 committee minutes. Committee Chair report announcements. I mentor. Congressional Black Caucus has scholarships available. The CBC sponsors educational scholarships. Afro-American students in CBC districts at cbcfind.academicwork.com. Earth Day. Day of Action, April 22nd. 9-1 in different locations throughout the district. Spring Community Fair, May 24th. I guess you want to update them on that. Committee Treasurer Report, no report today. Brooklyn Public Library update. Begin resuming in-person program and visits in 2021. 137,007 visits, 352,203 items checked out. 2020-13 programs. Capital needs. 3.5 million in emergency capital improvements. Central Library underwent major renovations. All 3 libraries are undergoing 3 major renovations. Eastern Parkway Library update from Josephine Library Supervisor. As of this week, they started doing programming. And that's the minutes.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. And next on our agenda for today, we have, my report. So definitely the first thing is we had our Jackie Robinson celebration. We did it. We made it happen. We've been talking about it, and we actually did that. So we were excited that that actually came to pass before the end of this year. A seed was sown in hopes that this would be, a continued celebration in the community. At last, it was shown that there were about 97 people in attendance, and that's based on those that registered and those that we know were there. So that's really great because we were indeed preparing for 103 people, and Jackie Robinson would have been 103 this year. So of course, if when we go over this list again and we say, oh, such and such was there too, we're going to add them to the list because this helps us for the following year. And the Jackie Robinson Day is actually on the agenda, but I definitely wanted to include that number in the report. As of right now, it's reported that there was about 97 people in attendance at that event on this past Saturday. So thank you so much to everyone for everything that you did to help make this day come to pass, as well as the feedbacks that you all have already shared. And definitely special shout out to the principals. We are so grateful to Jackie Robinson, the Jackie Robinson School, Ebbetsfield Middle School, as well. Definitely Exceed Charter School, one of the major sponsors of the event, as well as Threshold World LLC, Soul to Souls, and those of you on the committee. And we appreciate everyone and their input and your work and everything that you did on that particular day. After that actual event, Medgar Evers College was actually having an event because they have a new program for those interested in working in the marijuana industry. We know that in our community, we know the other side of what some of our communities went through when it came to marijuana, and so it's definitely a good time for those that are interested in being in the industry legally to be able to do so. And my understanding is that Medgar Evers College is the first college, and certainly within the City University of New York, to be able to have an actual program geared towards those that would like to go into the marijuana industry. And so I just want to give a shout out to Medgar Evers College for being able to see a need in our community. It is a need because it's a big industry, and for them to have seen, opportunity to be able to present education, an educational subject, that would be able to be marketed to those in our community so that they can be prosperous. That would be, that's an excellent thing. So definitely cheers to Medgar Evers College and the students that we were able to meet on Saturday and connect with them. And we were really excited. So that was a really good thing. So definitely check out, Medgar Evers College and, the new program that they have. I was just looking for where I put the official name, but it's MEC Grow. So those interested in that particular program is called mecgrow.com. And that event took place on Saturday. So those of you that might have been passing by and saw tents and things of that sort, they had panels, different people in the industry that were there, and we got to speak with a couple of people and make some contacts and be able to keep in contact with some of the students that actually already have their businesses up in the industry. So that was kind of fun to meet students as well as learn about their businesses. So once again, shout out to Medgar Evers College. And once again, is the MEC Cannabis Education program. So if you go to www.mecgrow.com, that's where you'll learn more information about that particular program. Also, We know that also in our last meeting and from minutes that we had our Brooklyn Public Library that put on an amazing presentation last month, and they gave a very robust presentation just based on all the different branches, making us aware that all of our branches were still open, whereas many other branches were closed throughout COVID. And so we have the Crown Heights Library, who we were blessed to have with us during our celebration on this particular past Saturday. That was the Crown Heights Library. And then there's the Central Public Library on Grand Army Plaza. And then there's the Eastern Parkway Library. And they were there also because they wanted to make us aware of upcoming construction that would be taking place at the Eastern Parkway Library. And so a letter of support was written from our board office and signed by Fred, our chair of our board, so that they would be able to move forward and do what was needed for the library. We know the library to be a continued safe space in our community, as well as a great resource. And so I think it's good that we're able to support the library in that endeavor. So I just wanted to make everyone aware that letter support was indeed drawn up for there to be that support for the library. And I was just pretty much pulling that up just so that you can be aware a little bit of what that letter stated. And so Brooklyn Community Board 9 supports the Brooklyn Public Library in its efforts to create and maintain library spaces that meet the demand and needs of Brooklyn Community District 9. The Brooklyn Public Library not only serves as one of our major cultural institutions, but also serves as one of our staple institutions that provides programming and resources relevant to our community. The district average of outstanding capital needs for branches located in Brooklyn Community District 9 currently sits at approximately 38.3 million, compared to 3.5 million for branches system-wide. The Eastern Parkway location alone has 750,000 in outstanding needs that must be addressed. And Brooklyn Community Board 9 supports the renovation of the Eastern Parkway Library. The renovation will bring much needed modernization, not only to the facility, but also to how programming and services are offered to residents. And so that's a bit of the letter that was submitted, just to make you all aware of that. Let's see, I just want to make sure I didn't have anything else that I wanted to make you all aware of. I believe that was most of it, but I just want to make sure I didn't leave anything out that I wanted to share with you all on today, far as my report is concerned. And let's see, I believe that is it for now. I was going to share some maybe pictures, but we can do that later on in the meeting. I believe that is all for now, far as my report is concerned. Okay. I'm thinking today's meeting may not be very long, but we'll see. All right. Okay, so the next item on our agenda for this evening, yes, our treasurer's report. So our treasurer could not be with us on today due to a conflict that she had, but for the most part, she just wanted to make sure that everyone, gets in anything that they need to get over to her, and she sent out an email related to that, and hopefully she'll be able to submit that, and it can potentially be maybe on next month's agenda. So right now there's no treasurer's report for right now. So now what we'll just do is acknowledgement of representatives and guests. for the public comment period. I believe right now we were just joined by our another one of our committee members, Ms. Beverly. So otherwise, I don't believe we have any other guests, but I'll definitely, take a pause just in case anybody joined us and I wasn't aware. If we have any, if we have anybody, any representatives from any elected offices or anyone from any schools or anyone that would like to speak during public comment period, just make us aware that you're here. Alrighty, so we don't have anybody else on for today. For our open action items, the book giveaway decision and vote. So we know that we decided during our last meeting that we would do a split, that we would give away some, we would give away some books during the board end of year event in June, and that we would give some at the Jackie Robinson Day. But what happened is we did learn, and within that same meeting, that there actually were not enough books, or maybe we learned via email, either or we learned that there weren't enough books to do both. And so we'll just do, at this point, by default, we'll just, give those books to the, during the community day that our board will be having in June. I don't think anybody would object to that because I guess, that was the only other option. All right. And just to make sure everybody is on the same page, I'm going to just remind you of when that date is, unless you remember from the top of your head, when our community board 9 event is about to take place. I definitely.
It's June 4th, Melanie.
Yes.
Saturday, June 4th.
Thank you. Thank
What's
you.
the time?
11 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Thank you, Khalid. All right, so June 4th. So we'll be all set to make sure that we are representing Education and Library. One of the things that the Crown Heights Library, well, I guess I could have sent this via email, but one of the things that they said is to let them know, the next time they're having an event. So I'll definitely, if there hasn't already been that contact with our district office, definitely we do have our contact with Crown Heights Library, and if they're available, perhaps we can have our tables together. Perhaps we can, because since we're education library, perhaps we can potentially just put our education with our books, right next to the library. So they'll be they can be handing out their items if they're available to join us that day. And then we can, just have the books. It goes hand in hand. What do y'all think?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool. All righty, thank you. So we'll move on from that, unless anybody wanted to say anything else about the book, project 1.
No, thank you.
All righty. So project 2, the subcommittee event for school support.
I was thinking about that, Melanie. Good evening, everybody. I was thinking about that since we haven't really put our boots on the ground in regards to that yet. May I suggest that we not do it? And we just focused on galvanizing our resources for June 4th. Sorry about that. Can we do that? May I suggest? I'd like to suggest that.
Well, the only thing about June 4th right now, I'll certainly be connecting with the district office, with our district office as well. But as of right now, I believe the only thing we'll be doing for that event is really just having our table and having a book.
That's it?
There's nothing else really for us to do. It's a community event, so we'll be greeting the community and potentially, participating in whatever way, that is needed for the day. I'm sure, assistance with setup and breakdown potentially, as well as, having our space. But otherwise, I don't foresee anything else. It will be at the Ronald McNair Park, so it's right there, easy access right there, and
Right.
it'll be nice.
Have we made up our mind which school we're going to support?
Well, that was up to
That
the
was our
subcommittee.
task. I know. I just realized that. Yes, yes, yes. So now that I know that we're not, and I don't know why I thought we were doing more. Now I feel bad about us not doing the school support thing. You know what, Melanie? Forget about that. I'll go back and see if I can galvanize the team, and we'll revisit it in the next couple of days. I'll send an email as soon as we're done with this.
Oh, great. Because I know that that Soul sent out an email as well. I know she was trying to reach out prior to the meeting as well for you all to chime on and
Oh, I
get a
didn't
little
see it. I'm
powwow.
sorry.
Oh, it's all right. So yeah, that'll be great. I mean, this week
Okay.
is that's what I didn't say. I knew I missed something in that report. So this week is Teachers Appreciation.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Yeah.
So shout out to all the teachers and staff and administrators and all those that make a difference in our schools. We thank you. We
Yes.
appreciate you, and all that good stuff. So we definitely want to give a shout out to our schools, and they're the moms and dads and aunties and uncles during the day.
Right.
So of course they're there doing what they do. We appreciate what they do in our communities, and so we're appreciative. So I don't know. We definitely have connections at the Jackie Robinson School Complex. 3 schools in one building.
Yes.
So
Yes.
we can definitely reach out to them or whomever you all are looking whatever you all decide to do.
Okay. Thank you. We'll do that.
Mhm.
I didn't see Soul's email, so I'll go back and respond.
Awesome. All right. Um, so forgive me, I thought I put the Jackie Robinson down as a completed event. Um, as a project that was completed for this year. So I guess I can move that down, but I certainly wanted to be able to share some photos. I just wanted to share the fun of what we experienced this past Saturday, for those that may not have been able to see it. We do have an Instagram, and we do hope to be able to gain access to it so that we'll be able to post those items. And we certainly have reached out to be able to get that from our dear media person. Shout out to him. I'm sure he'll join us at some point on this meeting. But yeah, I think I can share my screen really fast. Let me see.
Have you received the photos from Pamela's granddaughter?
Oh, not yet. Not yet.
Sage? No? Okay.
Yeah, but thank you so much for taking her around that day.
Oh,
And
no. It's my pleasure. It's my
yeah,
pleasure.
that was great. Everyone and the different things that you all did to make Saturday what it was. We definitely appreciate all of you. I mean, there's so much that can be said. And we will have an official debrief session on this Friday. We'll be submitting out the Zoom information to the team again, just in case you have misplaced it or what have you. This debrief session is certainly open to, those of you that would like to share, and for us to be able to make this an event that is something that is continuous and prosperous, for our community. This is an opportunity for our community to be able to celebrate the heroes and sheroes that we have. I don't recall of our community ever having a day to be able to celebrate the legacy and the fact that we actually had a whole stadium right here. And so it was a blessing to be able to have t-shirts and to be able to have food and to, show a documentary of Jackie Robinson, starring Jackie Robinson, and, for the students to be able to play baseball. I mean, they had their helmets and their bats. I mean, it was a big deal. And I'm grateful to all of you for all of everything that you did to help make it what it was. And it can only get bigger, as we continue to do what we do to make it what we would like for it to be for our community and with our community. So thank you so much again. We do have calendar items for so far as May and June. So I did say that we do have the for the month of May, we do have, like I said, it's Teachers Appreciation Week. And so, those special teachers, I know that you all are talking about, what you all could potentially still do. I don't know if do you all know of anything happening in May that perhaps we should go to or we should support? I mean, I would definitely say I don't have anything that I would want to add to our agenda per se, not like an event or anything like that. At this point, I would really just want to support, like if somebody, like if there's like maybe an entity in a community that's having an education related event, maybe we can go and we can support that event. Definitely we want to keep our community, we want to keep our District 17 and our superintendent and those events. We want to keep those in mind for sure. They're on social media, so we want to keep those things. We want to keep them in mind. We can also look to the things that our Brooklyn Borough Hall is doing, and I definitely got a shout out Miss Church from Brooklyn Borough Hall. She definitely represented at the Jackie Robinson celebration this Saturday, so I definitely want to give her a shout out, especially if she's watching this. We thank her for stopping by and greeting us. We appreciate that. So thank you so much, Miss Church. We appreciate that. So that's something else we can do. Look and see if maybe Borough Hall is having an event as well. Those are things we can do. I don't know. You all tell me, is there any, I know that you all mentioned Brooklyn Queens Day for June, but I'll digress and let me know anything that you all may be aware of that may be happening in May and in June. I already know that Beverly's going to come back to us. The subcommittee is going to come back to us with, a potential something. But what else are you thinking?
I haven't reached out to some of the educators that I know to know exactly what's happening here, but I'm sure everybody there are other people on the committee who will be doing that as well. So I can't speak on Teacher Appreciation Day or week, and but I will get back to you before week's end. Oh, week's end tomorrow, but no, I'll reach out to her tonight before tomorrow, and I'll let you know.
June 9th is Brooklyn Queens Day. They are having a parade, so I do have that flyer. I could forward that flyer to you. And then someone's having Ebbets Field cleanup. I think it's May 14th. I'll forward you that flyer as well, just so you guys can have it.
That's the garden that's next door to the middle schools.
Yes.
They are reviving the garden. The coordinator is Ruby Miller. She's a resident at Ebbetsfield. So she's galvanized the principals of the schools to come together, and they're going to be working on the garden as a collective project to bring it back to life like it was when she was a child, and so many of us were children. They're planning, the vision for everybody is for it to be able to produce fruit, to be able to share with the community. So that's what that day is about, is kicking off the cleaning part of it, for people to donate seeds and tools and things like that. And it's going to be at some point, it is going to be a field trip educational component for kids, not just kids in the school, but for kids in the community. I'm able to say this because she shared that vision with me. So it's not because I'm a part of it. I support her. and she's she's the coordinator of the project.
Awesome. And she, who you're speaking about, is a friend of mine, and I need to remember sis's name right now. Do you have her full name that you can share?
Her name is Ruby Miller.
Yes, Ruby
She has 3 daughters.
Miller.
Yes, she has
And
3
she
daughters.
was at the Jackie Robinson Day
Yes.
with her whole family. She was
Yes.
at the celebration with her whole family. Ruby,
Yes.
don't kill me. We used to
Yes,
serve on PTA
I think
together.
she's gonna make a great garden coordinator. I really do.
Awesome. That's so great. So
Yeah.
that's exciting. So thank you for
So I-
making us aware of that. I mean, maybe that is something that we would definitely want to pitch in
Oh,
together.
I didn't think about that. Oh yeah, that is education.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey.
Just
What
to
day you
add
said it
to
was again?
that,
What day you said it was on again?
May
May
14th.
Oh, good Lord. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, maybe the committee can still do it. I won't be able to be available. Lord, that's like the 4th event. But that's a hot day. That's a hot day.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Do you know the times by any chance?
It starts mid-morning, so it's like 11.
12 to 4, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Good timing. Okay,
Yeah.
12 to 4. The 12 to 4. That's that good time. All right. Okay. So, whew, that'll be here before we know it. Is that next week?
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. Okay. Well, I guess um those of us that are able to go and represent, um that'd be great. I don't know if anybody is able to commit to that now to be able to go if you're able to. Otherwise, I know there's also the Brooklyn Queens Day. Um, so yeah, well, that's what we have so far. The Brooklyn Queens Day and the Ebbetsfield cleanup. So the Ebbetsfield garden cleanup for the 14th of this month for May, and then the Brooklyn Queens Day in June, as well as our community, our community board event on the 4th of June. Okie dokie. So we'll share more about that. Anything else? Any other calendar items?
Yes, there is the Ebbetsfield Middle School is having a community school forum May 19th from 2:45 to 6:30 p.m. at Jackie Robinson Middle School.
What is it? I'm sorry.
Community school forum.
Oh, that's really good. So for
It's going to
those,
be in person.
It's in person.
What's the time?
2:45 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. It's a forum, a resource fair, music and entertainment.
that's good. So for anyone that's not aware of what a community school is, that may be watching on YouTube or even here with us, community schools definitely have resources in which the community can benefit. So community schools usually have partnerships with different organizations. And it's usually, the opportunity for the community to be able to also take advantage of those resources. So this is a really great event to be able to learn what those resources are. So that's what's up. Thank you for sharing that. So awesome. They also are on IG. So just so y'all know, to be able to they probably have it on there as well on their Ebbetsfield Middle School Instagram account. Let's see what else. So any other calendar items? I'm sorry, what date did you say that was again for the community forum?
May 19th.
Okay, cool. So we have the Ebbetsfield Community Garden cleanup on May 14th. We have the Ebbetsfield we have the Ebbetsfield No, we have the, should we say Jackie Robinson Complex Community Fair? Or is it?
It says Ebbetsville Middle School is what's on the flyer.
Okay, okay, cool. So the Ebbetsville Middle School Community Forum. Okay, cool. On the 19th, and our community event, our Brooklyn Community Board 9 community event on June 4th, and Brooklyn Queens Day on the 19th. We know for sure that, the 6th on June 4th, our committee will be representing at Ronald McNair Park as a committee. And then we'll see, who can definitely support the garden this Saturday between hours of 12 to 4. And those that may be able to attend the Ebbetsville Community Forum on the 19th. And if you can report back, to the committee for our last meeting, oh my goodness, in June, that would be awesome to be able to report back. Wow, one more meeting, y'all. So yeah. Any other calendar items? Are we all set for now? All right, I guess we're all set. So new business. So we have school absenteeism on here because our superintendent of our district, Superintendent Lindsay, that joined us for our meeting, she made me aware that she has like a task force on absenteeism, and they're looking for ways to be able to combat this and think of ways that they can encourage students to be able to attend. So I wanted us to actually brainstorm and think of some ideas that maybe we can present to our superintendent to report back to her. So I don't know, we can, kind of just, discuss a little bit, perhaps maybe some reasons why, students may be absent. We know that there's many diverse reasons that students may be absent from school, and maybe, why they're not, attending school. But also, some ways that we can, I don't know, maybe some potential ways that they can maybe implement some things. Maybe some things can be put in place to be able to, assist students where they are, so they would be able to get to school. So yeah.
Could you repeat that, Melanie? She's
Yeah,
looking
sure.
for. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
Yes. So we're talking about absenteeism in the schools, so that we can, think of different ways that the school can be supported in getting students to school. Like, any ideas that we could potentially present, to be able to be a help. Just ideas. We're just like brainstorming different things that can potentially be put in place, to combat absenteeism in the schools. There's been like chronic absenteeism. That's,
Right.
an issue. And so I just wanted us to kind of brainstorm, different ideas that can potentially be put in place to be able to help our district to improve on attendance.
Um, um, wouldn't it be in our best interest to first find out if the child is having difficulty getting to school before we assume they need that level of help? And then, if that's what it is, then we begin to either discuss what would if once we find out why, is it getting up late, is it transportation, blah blah blah, on and on and on. Once we discuss that, if it's getting up late, we could suggest a motivator, like in one of the other groups that I'm in regards to public safety. They're going to ask, if they haven't already, they're going to ask recreation facility, Major Owens, and probably some others too, to have extra classes to the side for incentives for kids to have an alternative to less than desirable behavior. So it's possible that that can be an option as well. If it's, let's just say, if it's a child who's having difficulty because they're not motivated to go to school, so they end up being late because of procrastination and getting up in the morning, or just different things.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's an option.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Beverly. I mean, you mentioned some really good things. The first thing is finding out why. Why is the student absent? Is it because they're just waking up late? Is it
Right.
because they need to be able to have a way to get to school? And then, from there, the next step, step two. Okay, now that we know that this is the problem, what can we do to help the child wake up on time? Do we need to send maybe a reminder, a robocall out to the student?
Right.
So I can put
Yeah.
that down, robocall.
Right. Well, I ran a few attendance improvement dropout prevention programs, and a lot of the times one of the main factor in student lack of attendance is the lack of connection with adults in the school. So if we're able to have resources and people who check up and connect with them, so robocalls really don't work.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that it just doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the times it's more if you're personally have somebody who will be like, hey, what's going on? Don't see you in school today. We care about you. Sometimes you got to do home visits. There's a lot of different things that would then motivate and have students be more interested in coming to school, but it has a lot more to do with connection or lack thereof.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you.
I say kudos to both of you guys because you're really hitting the nail on the head. But it's also about awareness, and we got to get, like Sol said, we got to get these parents aware of how important getting their children to school on time is, and they don't equate that with academic success. So if we can do those workshops and building our relationship, maybe that's something that the support team could really hone in on a little bit. And the two ideas that these ladies just presented is some basic things that we would be able to bring to the table for our parents, because parents are the ones who really gotta give that support.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that, Ms. Payne. So workshops, that's a great idea. I remember my daughter's parent, their parent coordinator, when they were in elementary, she would do different workshops. But I guess one specifically on, maybe absenteeism, you thinking?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. That's a good idea. I think that's a good idea, and maybe some of those incentives can be shared there, as
exactly.
well.
Mhm.
This is coming together, y'all. This is coming together. One of the things, one of the reasons why I had mentioned the robocalls is I'm gonna tell y'all, my daughter's school. Lord have mercy. I'm not look. I'm not just a chair. I'm a parent.
Oh,
And let me tell you,
take my shoes off.
one of my daughter's school sends messages in the morning, like 6 a.m., in
Wow.
the evening. I'm saying every single day, okay? Every day, there's a message about the importance of getting your child to school. So it's like a wake up call, literally. And then there's another call in the evening. Matter of fact, it came on when we started the meeting. I thought I saw it, City of New York. That was her school. I know that was her school. And then if there's a test, an important test coming up, they send another one. My kids have been in different schools, and I'm telling you, this is new to me. Nobody has ever sent this many messages.
Yeah.
But I can't say I don't know what's going on. I'll tell you that, because they exhaust They
Yeah.
exhaust that thing.
Yeah.
But I know everybody
But I
does
think it definitely works for like parents who are involved in care and want to, but like for those who are like not as involved
Oh
and
yeah.
this, that, and the other,
Mhm.
they'll like start blocking the calls and things like
Got
that.
you.
So
No,
it's like,
yeah, yeah. I love
yeah.
what you said. That personal contact. Oh, that's
Mhm.
yeah. Nothing beats that. Nothing beats that. I mean, so that's right on point. That's right on point. I like that. All
Is
right.
the parent coordinator for the student or for the child? For the student or for the parent? Who does the parent coordinator support?
The parents.
Oh,
And they usually work close with the they work close with the principal to be able to, whatever the initiatives are, to be able to get the information over to the parents. So yeah, definitely to
okay.
support us.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, anything else anybody wants to share? I mean, these are good. I mean, we got some good things. We got some good things here. And we may be able to also believe our vice chair may be able to attend as well, and represent our the things we came up with to be able to present them. All right, Ms. Vice Chair. So oh, maybe so. Maybe she went out for a minute, but she may be
I'm sorry. What did you say? I'm sorry. Could you repeat?
Yes, I was saying that we may have a representative to be able to voice these ideas at the meeting for us. I believe our vice chair may be available to be able to do so.
Okay. When did you say which date is that one?
I sent you the
The
email.
invite? Okay, no
Yeah,
worries.
yeah.
Yeah.
Could
Okay.
you send me the invite too?
Well, it came directly from the superintendent. I don't know if it was open, but I can certainly ask if our vice chair isn't able to make it.
Fine.
I definitely thought of you. I definitely thought of you, Miss Payne. She's like, fine. Y'all heard her, right? I promise I thought of you. Trust me. All right. Um, all right. Anything else y'all want to talk about with that particular thing? We all set on that? All right. Well, the next thing was on the agenda, far as new items. I just have my agenda up. Is prom and graduation guidelines. So I'm actually looking to see if I received any updated information. But it was, I was made aware that as of right now, we know that there's like a law, if you will, or maybe I shouldn't phrase it that way. I should say right now, all students um, all New York City students are eligible to go to school regardless of their vaccination status. There's periodic testing, and all students are, they were, of course, everybody's asked to get vaccinated. But we also know that there are those with religious and medical accommodations, as well as those that didn't want to get vaccinated. We know that this is, again, another graduation and prom year for students. And it was brought to the attention that there are students that won't be able to attend their prom or graduation due to vaccination status. So this is something that I just wanted to be able to us to look into, and just get some more clarified information. Like, is there going to be virtual options? I mean, I would think that there would need to be schools would need to put in some type of virtual option for students to be able to attend their graduation. But it's just interesting. because students going to school every day. But as far as the graduation, we understand it's more community, so it's like more folks coming in, and I guess they would want to have those things in place. I don't know. I don't want to speak for DOE or anyone. I'm not in that official capacity. And so I did send out some emails. So soon as I get more information, hopefully, or if anybody out there watching this does have more information regarding that DOE regulations far as prom and graduations for 2022, if you can actually send that over to our District 17 office, and they can forward me over the information, so we can all be on the same page. I'm sure that there's many parents and community members, especially in our community. We already know what that was looking like. And so we also know that, there has been some changes under CDC as well. So just getting the finality on what exactly that looks like right now. So I don't know if there's anybody on the call that's familiar with that at all. But I wanted us to be able to kind of keep that on the radar.
Well, I am in my community, in my school in my church district, which is Community Board 3. We partnership with PS 56, which is an elementary school, and we do Harvest Fest and back to school events with them. And one of the issues that they were having was they could not have their graduation or their prom. So they're having their graduation and prom at our school, and it is because they have to be vaccinated. But
Okay.
like you said, if I've been in school all year, then why can't I have this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just the kids. It's just the kids and the staff. The kids and the staff is coming. So I don't understand, because the parents are not coming either. So I don't really. The auditorium is enough space, and you could ask them, the parents, to show the vaccination cards, and if not, it's enough space in the auditorium, because it's 20, 30 kids that's graduating, so you can space out 6 feet in that space, because school auditoriums are a decent size. So I really don't, I'm just speaking to, I know that is a real big issue in our community.
Yeah. I sent somebody I had sent a letter to someone regarding a prom, and then someone sent me information back, and it was like prom and graduation. I was like, I was like, okay, so we need to look further into this, and I don't hear anybody talking about it. And I feel if they don't hear anybody talking about it, then it's kind of like maybe swept under the rug. So we would definitely want to be able to talk to some of I'm sorry. I am seeing some news reports on this right now. That's why I got a bit distracted. So I'll be able to read this to you all in a second. All right. So forgive me if I lost my train of thought there for a second. So DOE prom is on for New York City public schools, but only those. Okay, I'll just read the different headlines, and let's see. This one is dated for March 31st. So of course, I'll look for one that's more updated. But this one says DOE prom is on for New York City public schools, but only for those who are vaccinated against COVID-19. For the first time since 2019, New York City public schools will be holding senior proms for high school students, but with a caveat. Blah blah blah. I can forward this over to you all, but I want you to know this particular first one is from Hudson Valley News. So that's not, just making you aware of the source on that particular one. Let me go to another one. And certainly y'all are welcome to Google some too, you know.
Yeah, but I'm wondering how much are they going to be able to continue to enforce these things if the pandemic has been downgraded to an epidemic, and if they're now not requiring people to be vaccinated to go to schools, then how are you saying you have to be vaccinated to go to a prom? That doesn't
Yeah.
really make sense.
Yeah. Somebody was saying something to me of the effect of the facility. Um, I don't know, something about it being like an outside entity, but some people would have the prom in the school, you know, so it just, I don't know. Let me see if I see a more up to date. Um,
And they normally have the prom in the gym.
Not
mm,
really. Most of the time, proms are at spaces that's rented.
I was thinking more of the elementary kids.
They have prom for elementary school.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
yeah.
I
doing a
didn't know
fifth
that.
grade prom right now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
So, they normally just do it in the gym for them on the
got you.
Mm,
elementary level.
Yeah. Yeah, I
I
was
could
thinking
see,
more high school, so that's why
in
I
middle
wasn't
school,
looking.
yeah, I could
Yeah.
see that. But,
Hmm.
for the elementaries and the pre-K, they just do it in the school.
I don't
Got
see
you.
why, if it's a thing, why can't they just have it like at an outside facility? If being inside is the cause for concern, why
Right.
don't they do it
Mm,
outside?
Right.
All
mm.
these gardens, all these open lots.
All
I
these
mean,
schools with yards in them.
really, we're New York City.
Really.
Why are we acting like we don't know how to do that? I did find an April 5th. This is an April 5th article. This is CBS New York. Queens High School student says New York City requiring vaccine to attend prom is unfair, double standard.
Mm.
So some parents and lawmakers are urging the city schools chancellor to drop the vaccine mandate for upcoming proms. It is a requirement for many extracurricular activities in schools. But some people feel it's a double standard. So they went, they go into, this young lady's story. They said you had to be vaccinated to go to prom. My
All right. So I'm sorry, everybody, but I have to leave now. But thank you for anything. If there's anything you need from me, or need me to support, I'll be available. I know for sure from May 14th I cannot be of support because I already have a commitment on that day. But outside of that, depending on what it is, I'm definitely, I'll make myself available if I can.
Okay, thanks for making us aware. So,
All right, thank you.
what you all may have heard was one of the students. She was sharing her experience. I don't know if you were able to hear that, but you get the gist, of the situation. So, one of the things about our board, um, is and I'm going to read this just to make sure that everybody is aware of who our board is and what our board has come to put in place. Let me see. I'm looking for something that I had open and now I do not. Okay, it's coming back up. Um, one of the one of the things about our board is we're also advocates. And if this is something that our our committee would like to advocate for, if we're in agreement that we would like to advocate, because I'll say, I'm just going to read our mission statement for those, just to make sure everybody's clear, including those on YouTube. The CB9 Education and Library Committee is committed to provide educational advocacy. So and resources to parents, teachers, educators, and community board 9 schools. So educational advocacy, is what we deem it to be, and this is certainly surrounding education. We know that our students, by law, are able to go to school. regardless of their vaccination status. But they're also periodically tested, and they can be tested for a prom. They can be tested for graduation. How many places in New York City have we been tested for, to be able to enter a space? Why is it different for this particular event? These two events that students look forward to. And so, of course, people have their different opinions on that, but it is kind of interesting. And so for the
And maybe
most,
that's,
no, go ahead, go ahead.
sorry, Melanie. Maybe that's the premise on which we should advocate, because the children who attended school against their fears, because they were asked to show up in person, you don't have to wear a mask. Their parents were uncomfortable. Some of them said, okay, you're going to show up, but you're going to wear a mask. The kids showed up. They still performed to the best of their ability. Now, when it comes to a moment or event that rewards them, something that they can enjoy, they are being denied. They fulfilled the commitment of the parent part, of the adult part. They done what they were requested to do. They met that commitment. But now when it comes to the part that really affects them, appeals to them, they're being denied. I don't think it's fair. And maybe that's on the premise that we should argue it. Our kids shouldn't always, if we're cultivating adults for the future, needs to understand that following the rules is not punitive. At times you're going to get what you want when you give what's required. There are going to be times that you benefit from the system. Our kids should know that. And it's our job to teach them that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And maybe that's how we should argue.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say we should, I'm just suggesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I agree 100%, but I will tell you this. It may be brought to our attention now, and parents have been arguing this since January
Mm.
because the planning has already been done. The
Right.
prom date already been set.
Right.
Everything has already been ordered
Mm-hmm.
for the
Mm-hmm.
kids.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason I know this is because I sat on that team with those parents, and it's like I fight, I argue, but the bottom line, the principal has the final say. And if
Mm.
say no is no. And this is where parents get aggravated and frustrated, and that's why they don't go to their board meetings.
Mm-hmm.
Because they feel they don't have a voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't there someone, I don't have a child in school, so that's why I'm asking. Isn't there someone that the principal answers to? The superintendent, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what? It's one system. So a parent could disagree with a principal, and by the time that parent get to the district office, they already spoke to the principal by a phone call. So once a decision is made, and if it's coming from central saying no proms, then no principal or superintendent is going to go against that.
Yeah. I was definitely told DOE.
If
Yeah.
it's DOE and they said no prom, there's no organization powerful enough to go up against the DOE at this point in the game. We're not organized enough to do that, but that is what is needed. But
But but Miss Payne, with all due respect, this is where the organizing part come in. We don't have to organize when we get what we want. We have to organize when we're not getting what we feel we deserve.
I agree. But what I'm saying to you is the decision has already been made by most schools, and parents have already, because it's May.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
Right.
graduate in June.
Mm-hmm.
These decisions have been made. They are final, and we're just hearing about it. And I'm telling you, my church is letting the school have their graduation and their prom in our facility for that reason.
And
And we
that's
just
nice, and that's thoughtful.
finalized that
Mm-hmm.
last week. because it was a battle between the parents and the schools.
Yeah.
And the
So
parents lost.
that's nice, and that school is thoughtful. But I will tell you, there are some schools, and I'm gonna say this. There are some schools that are having proms not even in the same borough as the
Wow.
school itself, and there's a vaccination requirement on top of it.
Wow.
So I'm like, it must, maybe it's really nice, but it's not even something that more students can even attend.
Right.
So why are you doing that?
Right.
I don't know. But I'll tell you this. I was thinking about throwing a prom.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
I
for
I
throwing the
already
prom
spoke
for
to
the
some
kids in my
testing companies
community.
to see if maybe they can be on site or whatever I need to do. But if it's outside, I don't even have to do that.
You know what? I will. Right now, we're working in our church. In June 19th, we have a community prom for anybody in the community that want to wear their cap and gown. They can come. I will give you that flyer and we can share it with the community. And if parents want their children to have, and we have in the backyard, because we have a big yard, and we have frames and sodas and music out there for our graduates. And, we have a little thing where they could take pictures. And we have been doing that since the pandemic.
Nice.
So I will get that flyer ready and share it with you. So
Oh,
anybody want
awesome.
to come, we could say we did this as a board.
Oh, this is I mean, if our board is in agreement, we can definitely make that a thing, but we could just make
That's
it
up
happen
to
anyway.
y'all. I'll share that information with you guys. And you are welcome to invite your people. If they got any kind of awards or certificates, they just need to come 15 minutes early to turn it in. They wear their cap and gowns. And anybody, adults that are graduating, they can wear their cap and gown too and celebrate.
Okay, so it's like a graduation event.
It's a graduation event for the community.
Oh, that's very thoughtful. That's very thoughtful. And what's the name of your church?
Mount Sinai Baptist Church. I'll
Yeah.
get you the flyer. It's on Classen and Gates. You could take the 48 bus right there to Classen and Gates, and we got a parking lot too.
You hear that, community? Those of you that are on YouTube that are watching this, we are a solution. We are some solution seeking and finding people, and we have everything that we need right here. Right here. Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Payne. I appreciate you for being a continued resource. This is what I'm talking about. So this is great. You appreciate that. I want to know, was there anything else that you all wanted to share concerning this situation? Any type of next steps that we would want to do? What we want to, well, we don't really have a quorum to be able to take any particular action at this time, but not saying that it's not a problem for me to just,
But let me ask this question before we go.
of course.
Um, is it Khalid or Dante with us today?
It's Khalid. Dante is
Oh,
with you on housing, Beverly.
I'm sorry.
Dante is with you for housing.
Okay. Khalid,
Mhm.
given that we're a city agency and DOE is a city agency, we can push back on them, correct?
I don't think so. I think DOE has more executive powers than the community board does. We have advisorial powers. So, I mean, we can have maybe, and this is better to relay this to the office and do an email correspondence, but to request for like a public hearing on such matters, and see if we can draft correspondence or start up a conversation with the actual administrators for the actual agency. But noting what Ms. Payne said, that prom is literally right around the corner, I really doubt there's anything that we could do within this time frame, to be honest. But it's
Mhm.
something that it's fair to bring it up, especially with in front of the board as well.
Mhm.
And sometimes I've learned from a housing perspective, when it comes to organizing a decision that appeared to be unchangeable all of a sudden gets changed. So nothing is permanent until the day of.
Right.
Mhm. Well, they say nothing can be changed until it is faced. something to that.
Right. No, I
There's
know
a,
what
there's
you're
a quote
saying,
about
Melanie. Yes.
that.
No, that's true. A lot of times when we perceive that nothing can be changed, or we're told that nothing can be changed, it's to keep us from moving forward.
Mhm. One thing,
Whereas if it's, go
no,
ahead, because if it's something that we and I noticed that parents move hell and high water for their kids. And so unless the prom is tomorrow, I think it's worth a try, honestly.
mhm, yeah. So it's about,
Or graduation, same thing.
yeah, it's about a month for most, not
Yeah.
most, I think. So certainly, yeah. Hey, Maureen. Hey, Dexter. Hey, who else is on here? Nicholas Almanor. Well, we missed you. I know you be hopping along, hopping around, making it happen. You're muted.
Yeah, I've been up and along, so I got a chance to, because so many meetings I can start
Yeah.
simultaneous. It's very
Oh, I
hard.
know. Yeah.
So, but because actually I sent you an email, I wanted to reach out to you because one of my big push now is for the community fair.
Oh, well, I know that's why you here. Bless your heart. So let
But
me.
I've been there before. Okay, because you're dealing with education and the and libraries.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, I just left. I think the urge is to have everyone get most of the institution they are associated to be vendors as part of this community fair. I wanted to reach out to you specifically for two reasons in terms of the education part. I
Mhm.
remember you said you spoke to the district superintendent,
Mhm.
and she had suggested to have some kind of a contest for music student, a virtual DJ competition. Well, did that became a reality?
I'm sorry.
I think she had mentioned to have a virtual DJ competition for various schools to participate in that as as like a district-wide competition, because that's what I thought. I understand. I wanted to be clear about that. And the other idea is, and I
Oh,
think
can I address the first thing? I'm sorry. In
sure.
reference to any type of I'm not familiar with the competition from the District 17's office.
Oh, I think I must have misheard. I thought she was trying to put together a virtual where the different students from different school will put DJ sets together and will enter it into a competition. So
The super
that's what I understood. I must have misunderstood
Oh, the
that part.
superintendent?
Yes, when you
Yeah,
spoke.
I'm not familiar with that. I mean, I know there's initiatives that she's working on, and she's going to share with us, any upcoming events, and we're definitely encouraged to check out her social media and things of that sort. But I'm not
Okay.
familiar with anything else. Forgive me. I wanted to definitely make sure I recognized you, and I definitely knew that you wanted to speak to the June 4th event. We definitely covered that in the meeting. Um,
Right.
well, but I'm definitely going to give you space to continue. But I wanted to know if anybody else, I just wanted to recognize everybody else that came on, and I wanted to know if there was any other input that anybody had concerning, prom and graduation for students before we moved on with additional things. So I know that uh, thank you for being able to still join on, Dexter and um, um, Maureen, and I don't know, even you, Nicholas, if any of you are aware of the prom and graduation um, provisions that have been put in place through the DOE, where students are not able to, if they're not vaccinated, they can't go to prom and graduation. Is that's still relevant? If you had anything additional on that, you're welcome to share before we move on. I know the time is 8:20, but if not, that's fine too. I just wanted to, before we like totally moved on, I wanted to make sure we acknowledged everyone. All right. And we definitely gave a shout out to Exceed Charter School, without whom many of the things that we were able to accomplish that day would not have been possible. So certainly we are very grateful and thankful to you all as one of the major sponsors for our event. I just want to publicly acknowledge that. And you know, the best is yet to come. So we're grateful and we're thankful.
Absolutely. It was such a great event. I hope everybody feels really, really proud of what the committee and, you know, what everybody accomplished together. It was really great.
Thank you. All right, so thank you. All right. And so all right, so getting back to what listen, Nicholas was saying. So we're going to be, you know, making sure that we are checking out District 17 on their social media and seeing the different things that they have going on, so we can be abreast of the different events that they have. And definitely community, our board is going to, you know, our committee is going to be, you know, will be present on June 4th for the event. We're thinking to reach out. We have a partnership, a real nice new partnership that we have with Crown Heights Library. And I know I'm putting them, you know, this is a public meeting and I know other people can see it. But if they are indeed available to join us, excuse me, as we are the Education and Library Committee, then that would be awesome, because we will be giving, doing, you know, we were never able to do our book giveaway, so we voted to give books away at that event. And so with us being able to do that and having a library with us, if they're available, that'll be great, because then they'll be able to do what they do. Some of what they shared on Saturday, they were really awesome. They gave like bags with information, and I mean that table was like covered with folks over there. It was really nice. So yeah, if they're available to join us, that'd be great. And we know that, you know, we have 3 different library branches in our in our district, in our community board areas. Okay.
Well, I would urge maybe we could reach the superintendent so they could have one table to present the superintendency at this event.
Oh, you're requesting for the superintendent to be in the
Oh
room?
yeah, it doesn't have to be her, but the office could be there to provide all the information and services that the people in the community need to know about, so they could take advantage of. And you see, you said you had a charter school here. Is Ms. Moore in favor represent a charter school? Or the charter school, if you work for this, we could encourage them to get a table also to present what their school is about, because the whole community is going to be out. So that's a possibility. We have about 100 tables. We are planning for about 100 tables. So we don't have too many people yet.
Wow.
So as many people that you can get in,
Wow.
you could do that. The last meeting I was in, we had somebody
50 tables, 50 tables and 100 chairs.
Okay.
What was that?
Each committee is entitled to 15 tables, 50 tables and 100 chairs.
Well, no, for the total in the fair is 50 tables.
50 tables? Well,
50 table total and 100 chairs.
So Warren Burke at the last meeting said 100. So that has to get resolved. He said 100.
I'll have Dante re-forward the details for you guys. No, so I'll address that in the office tomorrow.
Yeah, check with that. The other stuff I was gonna talk about is
Before you jump,
no, I just want to do it quickly. This is an opportunity also to recognize people in the community. So I know PS 221 is recognizing one teacher's been there for the last 34 years. One of our board members, she was the teacher of board members. I know on tomorrow, Friday, the board president is giving some kind of a proclamation. And it's too bad we did not have our spelling bee and stuff like that. Would have been the opportunity to have the final for it and write prizes. But that's one of the things you think about. If you think there's somebody in the community that needs to be recognized, I think this is an opportunity to do it. And I think we miss Women in Swim have to recognize all the women within the community board, and I have a feeling that's going to be done publicly at that fair. So think about that. We have a few days coming, so if you have any ideas, you have to send it to Dante, the clearinghouse, for all that to see what's possible.
Okay. All right. Well, together everyone achieves more, and I would say that this committee certainly knows that for certain. The committee definitely came together to put on our event on Saturday, and we'll be there in support and as members of our community board. Hopefully, maybe next year we'll be able to have a cheerleader like you to help advocate Education and Libraries annual Jackie Robinson celebration. So thank you very much. We always are grateful for your presence, Mr. Nicholas Amanor.
Thank you.
Uh, does anyone else have any other announcements about anything that you would like to share? Notice how Mr. Amanor is here for like the public comment period, if you will.
Good.
Another time now, 26.
Yeah, I see Dexter is here. Welcome, Dexter. Probably hear a few words from you.
Yeah, Dexter, we always like to hear your voice. You want to say hi to us today? I think he was having some signing.
Hi.
There you go.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
So I am now leaving an event. We didn't have commencement for the past 2 years. So this year the college is having commencement, and I just came from hosting a SIC award, and then next week I will have like 15 events to host. So I'm very busy, but I try to clock in as soon as I got a little chance.
Thank you, Mr. Dexter
Yes.
Roberts.
Good night. Good night.
We appreciate you very much. And when you get the opportunity to share those login IG credentials, we appreciate that. Hint, hint.
Oh, sure. I didn't know that you were wanted us. I can surely give it to you. We had the award today. We having commencement on June 2nd at the college. It's no longer back this year, but we are hosting it at the college itself. We have a family day on Saturday on Saturday the 14th. We have a family day. Any members that come for the students of the graduates and for the members of the community. We also have a spring fest on Wednesday. It's open to the public and anybody. So we just want to bring back that sort of spirit, within the college community.
Oh, nice. Thank you for extending that. And we definitely shared in the report about the event that Megger had on Saturday as well, and the MEC girl. So definitely went there after our Jackie Robinson celebration.
Oh, you did went? Yes. I did went. I came, then I went home because I had another thing to do. But so far, I think that I'm so glad that education itself is people we are now including people back on campuses, and they're allowing the students to come back rather than the virtual learning. So what we're doing now is we're doing hybrid. We are integrated hybrid learning. So you have partial class, partial online, which I think is kind of pretty cool.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Dexter, before you go, can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Will MacGyver be represented at the Community Board 9 Community Fair? If so, can you reach out?
What I will do, I can reach out to the Office of Academic Admissions so that they can come and do probably tabling on that day. I can do that. I can actually ask them to come to the community board here and do tabling. That is something I can probably do not tomorrow. Well, probably tomorrow or Monday.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. So thank you so much for joining us for our meeting on today. The time now is 8:29. We don't really have anything right now. I can give an overview, of course, at the executive committee meeting this month about, of course, about the fact that we had, as of now, we came up with that it was about at least 97 people in attendance at the Jackie Robinson event on Saturday. We prepped for 103. If we find out there was somebody else there and maybe we didn't get their name down or something, we'll add them to that number. But that's the last number we have there, 97. Oh, so that was great. What else? I guess we can make them aware of the concerns we had regarding prom and graduation, the fact that we addressed absenteeism. But those are some of the highlights that would be shared with the executive committee at the executive board meeting. Definitely encourage everyone to attend if you can. And I guess if all hearts and minds are clear, I'll adjourn the meeting and leave it open to show pictures from Saturday. So I would need to, am I able to share, Khalid?
Your co-host, you should have.
Okay, because I tried before.
You don't have share content at the bottom of
I
your...
sure do, but it says cannot share content.
That might be a permissions related matter on your device because you have... Let me check. Oh, actually, give me 1 second. Let me see.
Okay. Thank you. And while we look into that, I'll let you all know the dates of the next meetings. So the executive committee meeting is on May 17th, and the general board meeting for this month is on May 24th, just to make you all aware of that.
Try now, Melanie. Try now to share your screen.
Oh, great. Okay, thanks. Okay, let's see. All right, let me do that. Thank you. Oh, cool. Something's happening. Oh, sorry, you all. I guess it's taking a while, maybe with the Wi-Fi. But certainly, you all can check out our Instagram later on this week. Hopefully, we'll have pictures and hopefully we'll be able to have the some pictures and video up on our CB9 IG. So we have a CB9 education IG. So hopefully we'll be able to share some pics and videos there. And if you all happen to have any pics and videos, I actually don't have any. Well, no, that's not true. Obviously, I have some pictures, some videos, but there's some things that maybe I didn't catch that you might have. So I don't have any of anything I said. So anyway, you all are definitely welcome. Let's share pictures and make memories and be able to put advertisements together for next year and be able to put all that together.
Miss Melanie, do you mind sending your phone number or sending me a message, and then I can send you some photos from Saturday?
Sure. Awesome. Thank you.
No problem.
All right. It's disabled on here, so I'll have to send you an email. Yeah, I'll send you an email right quick.
Okay, I have the same number too, if you want to text me.
Okay, yeah, I have the same number.
Why is the chat disabled on here? Why can't we use the chat feature?
Khalid, you want to answer that? Let me not put you on the spot. Nicholas, you want to answer that?
It's office policy because when we first initiated with the virtual meeting platform, we did have the chat enabled, but people took advantage of the chat in more of a negative aspect. So instead of sharing actual information or thoughtful responses or questions per any matters, a lot of people use the chat just to spam it with essentially nonsense. So we decided as an office to disable the chat, and board members actually voted a couple of months ago to continue in this format of, just meeting virtually, chat disabled, and webinar format for the executive and the general board meetings. But I, uh, everybody here is a committee member. There's no outside, community residents. If you're comfortable with sharing your number right now, you can. But I will note that this video is being recorded and we will be putting it up on YouTube by the end, well, tomorrow. So if you don't feel comfortable sharing your information right now, you don't have to, and we'll just make sure to facilitate that, information exchange via email during business hours tomorrow.
Got it.
Thank you. I'm definitely comfortable with the chat being open on our committee meetings, but we have one more month left, so
Got it.
I
Got
appreciate
it.
you.
Yeah, I think the chat, can build community and be a space for positive, everything. Affirmations and celebrations and sharing
It
of
can
thoughts.
be,
Yeah,
it can be, but like Khalid said, people have to be willing to use it in that way.
right.
And when people aren't willing to use it in that way, it kind of now I'm sounding like my parents, it ruins it for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
understand. I get it.
so yes, there are times like now you're wanting to share information, and some of our guests want to share information because I'm an individual who voted for it to stay the way it is. um there was a meeting, I remember one in particular, where we had a presenter and the chat, so much was going on in the chat that the chat came over the picture or the presentation of the presenter. That's how much was going on in the chat. So and board meetings are about what's happening on the floor, not what's happening in the chat. So I understand the inconvenience sometimes, but I'm in agreement right now with us being the way we are.
Got it. Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Alrighty, so I'll be sending you that email, Miss Terry. So thank you so much, and thanks so much, everyone. If all hearts and minds are clear, this meeting is adjourned for May 2022.
Thank you. Heart, mind
Bye,
clear. Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good night.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Thank you.
night, everyone.